Hi, this is Gautam. For episode 3 of the Nagaland book list, we'll be looking at this book, In the Shadows of Naga Insurgency by author Jerry Waters. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his name, pardon me for that. Now, to talk about this non-fiction work. Now, the book was published in the year 2018, and the fact which I liked about this book is that it doesn't, paint things as black and white, but rather is trying to understand the problem. Okay, to support this argument, how it is able to analyze well. Let's look at how the book works. Now, the author has traveled, if not using this word extensive, traveled to important locations in Nagaland, and he's very particular about his locations. For example, he mentions two villages, one in western Nagaland and then the second in eastern Nagaland, just to get the spectrum of of political views in different sections of Nagaland. And second is, in most of the chapters, whenever an argument is put forth, he's able to quote sources, both primary and secondary sources. If it's an interview, or if of course the names are changed, or if it is going to be an historical source, writings from starting from 1950s or 1960s, and even historical sources before that. So as the chapters progress, you see that the author is trying to, really simplify and break down the reason for why you exactly have an insurgent movement continuing in Nagaland today. At the same time trying to identify or maybe give a perspective on why it might continue to do so. So first, in the first chapter, I just want to give brief overviews on what you can expect in several chapters and the different arguments. So first is regarding the idea of Nagalam or Greater Nagaland itself. So the question of identity itself is a problem. So who exactly do you consider as a Naga? So is it about a historical tradition or historical culture, a group of people who lived in the hills, or do you specify based on religion that all Naga should be following the religion of Christianity, or is it a modern concept or is it an ancient concept? That itself is a question. Second is about the territory of Nagaland, because a significant population of Nagas live outside the state of Nagaland. So where exactly, where exactly do you draw the boundary of the state itself? Because that is always an insurgent question. Because the argument is Nagas live outside the state of Nagaland. So even if there is statehood, we need to make sure that the federal unit size increases, which naturally brings about dissenting voices in the state of Assam and Manipur, because those are the bordering states. So that's second question. Third is regarding the issue of the armed forces and implementation of the Armed Forces Special Power Act. Even in very, very recently, you would have, if you're following the news, of course, you would have seen that in a wrong encounter, in an ambush which completely went wrong, innocent civilians of India were wrongly killed by the armed forces. And of course, the government has given a formal apology, and it has been said that proper action will be taken against the fake encounter, because it was against the citizens of India. Now, the point which the author tries to make is, when the news reports on the misuse or the probable or possible misuse of Armed Forces Special Powers Act, or the usual usual claim or the usual protest which is there, not just in Nagaland but even in surrounding states, that AFSPA should not be implemented in these states because things have changed. It's not it's not as it used to be because insurgency has come down. You should repeal AFSPA. Apart from these arguments, the author takes one more argument into view, as in, there are so many insurgent groups in Nagaland. It is not one, as in, initially you had the Nagaland National Conference leading the movement in 1960s, and the post 1970s, as the ceasefire agreement was signed, you had the National Socialist Council of Nagalim, NSCN, which further splintered into so many insurgent groups. So it's not a 2 points there. It's not a negotiation itself is problem for the government, because the government has to make sure that the civilians are properly protected by negotiating with the insurgent groups. So many insurgent groups are there. Bringing them to the table is very difficult. And the second problem is there is infighting within the insurgent groups themselves for control of territory and for control of the black market economy, which is hurting the citizens of India, which is again a problem. So what the author points out is the infighting within the insurgent groups of Nagaland, which kills Nagas themselves, which kills Indian citizens, is not something which will mostly make your news articles, which the author wants to point out. And he also talks about, which you might miss. Is that again, which doesn't make the news in general, your newspapers, or that is the difference between western section of Nagaland and eastern section of Nagaland in terms of implementation of government policy, in terms of even in government policy, and henceforth economic development. And he also talks about why in certain departments, diversion of funds continues to exist because of the dominance of insurgent groups. So it is a comprehensive book which tries to, again, not judge, but tries to understand what exactly is the issue. Because to write a convincing work by trying to analyze each and every factor is quite difficult. I'm really surprised that proper references are quoted. So this should be a book about Nagaland if you're definitely reading about the state. So that's it for today's review, and I want to bring 2 points. I know that it's been 3 weeks since I posted a video, and it's because I'm kind of caught up with work. Couldn't finish the Kazuo Ishigaru's 2 more books last month. I was quite busy. So for the author for this month is Haruki Murakami, and I will not be posting videos for the next 2 weeks because of work commitments again. But point is, between Christmas and New Year, I will make sure that I post 3 books of Haruki Murakami. I will read them and make sure that I write the review also and then present it to you properly. So that's it for now. Okay, I will be meeting you with the works of Haruki Murakami and possibly the 4th episode on the state of Nagaland. Bye for now.